going on, YouTube? Wisdom Junkie, as of today, 66 subscribers. For me, that's pretty awesome, man. I mean, I haven't even done like a contest or anything really to deserve that. 66 subscribers have come to me because of all of you who have shared my videos or commented or whatever, who seem to have found value in them. And I really appreciate that, man. That's really cool. So, today, smoking Peterson Deluxe mixture. It's pretty good. It's aromatic, obviously. This is my second bowl for the day. My first bowl I smoked in a different pipe was the Wondrous, the gift from God, known as Frogmorton Cellar. So, let me fix you guys. Oh, there you go. Oh, oh, oh. Woo. Anyone who hasn't smoked Frogmorton Cellar yet, I'm going to do you guys a favor that was done to me and recommend that stuff. Unbelievable smoke. All day smoke, I think, for me. I think we'll always have that in my cellar from now on. So, still working my way through this book called, The Seven-Story Mountain. A guy named Thomas Merton. Very older book. It was lent to me by a Catholic friend of mine. This is this really long story about this guy's life. Still going all through his childhood and everything, and growing up in France and Europe. And I think eventually the point of the book is that he ends up becoming like a monk. And I think that's where the story is headed, like telling us about his life as into monkhood. He gets monkified. But there's one little section in here I just wanted to read real quick and get you guys' thoughts on it. He's talking about how people go through phases in life. You know, how you go through phases as a kid or even as a young adult, and everybody has these phases in their life. But then he talks about how people go through religious phases. And this is his speaking. He says, like practically everyone else in our stupid and godless society, I was to consider these 2 years as my quote-unquote religious phase. I am glad that now seems very funny, but it is sad that it is funny in so few cases, because I think that practically everybody does go through such a phase. And for the majority of them, that is all that it is, a phase and nothing more. If that is so, it is their own fault, for life on this earth is not simply a series of phases, which we more or less passively undergo. If the impulse to worship God and to adore Him in truth by the goodness and order of our own lives is nothing more than a transitory and emotional thing, that is our own fault. It is so only because we make it so, and because we take what is substantially a deep and powerful and lasting moral impetus, supernatural in its origin and in its direction, and reduce it to the level of our own weak and unstable and futile fancies and desires. So what I think he's saying is that going through different phases in life is normal in every other aspect except when it comes to God and religion. That shouldn't be a phase. And once you enter into that phase, you just never exit it. And when we do, it's our own fault. And this contributes to a stupid and godless society. I don't want to get into the whole religious debate or anything like that, but, and I don't mean for this to be like a controversial video or anything. I simply want to address the fact that I think that he's wrong, in that I think that phases of religiosity, phases of faith, are necessary for everyone. Like anything else in life, you enter into a phase, say pipe smoking. Now, pipe smoking, is this just a phase for me? I don't know. I certainly hope not. But I certainly don't want to just move into this and then never move out, having never experienced something else. For instance, perhaps if I go into a phase of, say, Frogmorton Cellar tobacco, I will never experience anything else because it was just I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to question anything other than what is Frogmorton Cellar, because I have found the truth. I can stop now. And I need to keep coming back to that over and over and over and over and over again, dogmatically. I think when you take that to, when you bring it one step further and talk about religion and God, you know, I think you run into dangerous ground. I do think religion and God and worshipfulness can be very, very like a phase. I had that phase myself. You know, it's a really long story that it's way too long for this video, but you know, I consider that a phase of my life. Then I moved on to what I think are bigger, deeper, more profound areas of spiritualism, mysticism, religion, God, everything. I think it's what promotes growth in human beings, in consciousness. It's okay to have our phases in all aspects of life, including religion. Because I think if you cling to one thing vehemently, you close yourself off to other ideas. And I know for some, my thoughts about this subject will probably, many people will probably disagree with it, especially when you're talking about, you know, Christian faith. That really shouldn't just be a phase, because that is the truth. And you know what? I'm not going to argue that. I'm just simply saying that I think it's okay for our love of religion, of God, to be a phase. One that you enter into and then move out of. And then sometimes move back into and ebb and flow and everything else. This is kind of what I wanted to talk about today, and I think that he's wrong about that. So, what do you guys think? Thank you for your time, as usual, guys. Keep those pipes lit, and keep the comments coming and everything else. And stay cool. See ya.